Okay, first graders, now that you know how to get to Google Classroom, Google Meet, and Canvas, now I want to show you how to do and work the lessons in Canvas. Some of you are doing it, some of you are missing some things, and I just wanted to share with you how to get into Canvas and what to do once you're there. Okay, now that once you get into Canvas, going to your dashboard and say, we're going to do an English language arts lesson. You click on English language arts and get into that area. Which will look like this. It will say, welcome to English language arts. Each week you will make meaning with 3 new pieces of text. Click the week to begin your learning journey. Now, weeks 1 and week 2, we did when we were still in first grade. So those you won't have access to, they're closed. We're finished with those. Week 3, we started week 3 at the beginning of summer school. So some of week 3 is now also closed. To know which ones are, go in and try. If it says closed, that one's too late. Weeks 4 and week 5 are open. These we are working on right now. I opened week 5 this week. Now, also I want to show you. Do you see this blue writing on the side? These are all your assignments. Now, what I want you to understand is the teachers add assignments that aren't in those week boxes, and those assignments will show up here. You will need to look over here on the blue writing and click on these assignments. That way you know exactly what you're needing to do and exactly what you've missed. And sometimes when you go into the boxes, it's a little confusing and you forget where you're at. But if you go to these assignments, then you will get everything. And like I say, some of these are things that I have added and they aren't in here and you won't find them here. So always check over there. You can go in the boxes too, but once you're done with these boxes, check over in the blue writing and see if there's anything left for you to look at or do. Now I'm going to go into week 5 and I'm going to show you what a lesson in ELA or reading looks like. Now, on the first page, when you go into a week, it just tells you, it's kind of like the table of contents. It tells you the stories you're going to be reading for the week. And this week for week 5, we're only doing Stregononia and Gucci Gucci. We're not doing these 2 stories. And so sometimes if you click on a story and it won't open for you, it's because I've chosen not to do those stories. Because sometimes, 4 stories, it may be too much. And so I've added other things, or I took some of the stories out for the other things. So if you click on something and it doesn't work, don't worry about it. It's because I've taken it out. So the rest of this is just explaining how to do Canvas. And you can look at these videos if you want to and if you need to. But if you don't, then just go ahead and click next. Now, when you click next, it will go to the video for the first story. Our first story is Stregononia, and our goal is we will use evidence from the text to make inference and explain our thinking. That just means when we say something and we're using things that we've learned from a story, we need to show what in the story did we use to help us learn it. And our essential question is, why is community important? So for week 5, we're going to be talking about communities and why that's important. Now, you play the video for the story. Make sure you're listening to the story. I'm not going to play it right now. You can play that on your own. But when you play it, make sure that you're listening to what happens in the story. And if you forget, you can always come back and play it again. You can play it more than once. Once you're done listening to the video, then you click next. Then after you listen to the video, you go to the choice board. And the choice board, what the choice board is, it gives you 3 different jobs or tasks that it wants you to do. You can see it says here task 1, and then here is task 2, and then here is task 3. Now, it says choice board. That means you have a choice. You can choose 2 of the 3 tasks. You get a choice of, you get to pick the 2 you want to do. You do not have to do all 3, although you can do all 3 if you want to. Now, some of you are doing 2 of them, and some of you are only doing 1 and not going back and doing another one. Now, I'm going to show you how to do one of the tasks, and then basically the same way that you do the first one of the tasks is about the same way you'll work on them all. Now, it says complete the activity sharing my opinion before beginning task 1. Please make sure you click on this, because this is actually where it's teaching you what is going on for your task. So you want to click on this and learn from it so that when you do your task, you'll do a better job. So this task, this ELD lesson is called Sharing My Opinion. And our learning objective is I can give my opinion about a topic or event. An opinion is what you think about a topic or event. People can have different opinions about topics and events. In the story Stregononia, Big Anthony was told to not touch the pasta pot. Big Anthony disobeyed Stregononia and touched the pasta pot anyway. Big Anthony's consequence for disobeying was to eat all the pasta. Now here's the story. Now, if you didn't know what consequence meant, well, they give you a video to help you learn what consequence means. And that's why it's so important to do this ELD lesson before you do the task, because it does help you learn so that you can answer the question for the task a little bit better. Now it says, do you think Big Anthony's consequence for disobeying was fair? Why or why not? Talk to a family member or friend about your opinion. Use one of the sentence frames to help you. Choose one. I think Big Anthony's consequence was fair because, or I think Big Anthony's consequence was not fair because. And again, this part is just talking to someone and saying what you think about what happened to Big Anthony in Stregononia. When you are done with the ELD lesson, you go back to the choice board, and then you are ready to do task 1 now that you've completed your ELD lesson. Now we did the ELD lesson, we completed the activity sharing my opinions. Now this task 1 is what would you do? This is just the standards that we're covering. Standards are the things that you're to learn in 1st grade. Now this first part says print or open the what would you do worksheet. If you don't have a printer, or if you open it and it doesn't open, that's all right. You don't have to do this particular worksheet. If you want to, you can, but you just go on and read the rest of it and you can still do the assignment. Imagine you are Big Anthony. Would you use the magic pot? Why or why not? Write or type your opinion. Submit your typed response, record a video, or take a picture of your work. So you can still answer the question, would you use the magic pot? Why or why not? Writing it or typing it or recording a video. And then you submit your response to the choice board. So you click the choice board assignment. Now, when you go to the choice board where you're submitting, you'll get this box. Now, this says file upload. This is if you, say, took a picture of your paper on your phone, then you can upload it here and submit your assignment. This text entry one, this is where you can just type on the screen. And then this one here that says studio, this is where you can create a video on Canvas and submit it. And there's directions in Google Classroom of how to make that video. Right now, I'm going to choose text entry. And you can see that this is a box just to type. So again, when you're typing, make sure you're writing good, complete sentences and make at least 3 sentences. We know by now, because we're going into 2nd grade, that 1 sentence is just not enough to explain your thinking. You should have at least 2 or 3 good, complete sentences. So I could say, if I were Big Anthony, because that's what we were asked, I would not touch the pot. And then I would not touch it because I was told not to. And I know that rules are for keeping me safe. So then I've typed my answer, and then I submit my assignment. But now I am not done with Stregononia because I only did 1 task. So I need to go back to the Stregononia choice board. And I need to pick another task to do and then do the same thing. Do the ELD lesson, then do the task and submit it. And then after I've done another of the ELD lessons, then I am done with the story Stregononia. So task 2 says complete the ELD activity adding details before beginning task 2. And task 3 is complete the ELD activity rhyme and exercise for rhyming words. So again, you have a choice, 2 out of these 3, and that is how you do an ELA reading lesson. You watch the video, you go to the choice board, you pick 2 tasks out of the 3, do the ELD activity, then do your task and submit your task.